Have you ever wondered what the angels did when they saw the Son of God dying on a cross? What happened in heaven while Jesus suffered on earth? Today, you're going to hear the story behind the story, not just from the view of earth, but from the eyes of heaven. This is the untold moment when angels wept, worshipped, and watched as God Himself gave everything for love. What you're about to hear is more than a story. It's a divine revelation of sacrifice, purpose, and victory that still echoes in eternity. Welcome to the Bible Stories with Gian channel. On the day Jesus was crucified, the whole universe held its breath. It was the darkest day in human history. On the outside, it looked like an ordinary execution. But in the unseen world, in the realms of heaven, something powerful was happening, something angels had never seen before. This is the story of what Michael and Uriel, two great archangels, saw when their king, the Son of God, was nailed to the cross. It's a story of shock, sorrow, and finally, hope and triumph. Golgotha, the hill of the skull, was filled with pain, dust, and cruelty. Roman soldiers played games at the foot of the cross. Religious leaders mocked Jesus. People watched, confused or indifferent. But in the spiritual realm, the atmosphere was completely different. All of heaven's angels stood still. Their eyes were fixed on one place, the cross. Among them stood Michael, the warrior archangel. Normally he leads battles against darkness, but this time he did not fight. His face was full of shock and sorrow as he watched his Lord, the Creator, being beaten and killed by His own creation. Next to him stood Uriel, the angel of wisdom and truth. His being burned like fire, but on that day his flame flickered with grief. He had no words. He only watched in silence, overwhelmed by the mystery of what was happening. As Jesus bled and cried out, something never seen before took place. Michael, the strongest angel in heaven, dropped to his knees, not in defeat, but in reverence, in awe. He bowed before the love of God made visible in suffering. Uriel too was moved. A single tear fell from his eyes, a tear not of water, but of heavenly fire. It was sorrow, it was worship, it was understanding that this was not a loss, this was love in its highest form. Even the seraphim, the angels who sing, "Holy, holy, holy," day and night before God's throne, fell silent. They could not sing. They could only watch. Their hearts were full of reverence and grief. Michael, who once battled Lucifer and led the armies of heaven, now understood something deeper. Victory wasn't coming through strength this time. It wasn't through swords or power. Jesus was winning through love, through surrender. Through the pain of the cross, He was defeating sin, death, and hell. Uriel also realized this truth. He didn't draw his flaming sword. Instead, he waited for a new assignment, not to fight, but to record the greatest act of love the universe had ever seen. Suddenly, from the throne of God, a voice rang through all of heaven. Open the eternal books. Record everything, every moment, every drop of blood. Uriel received a scroll made of light. He didn't write with ink. He wrote with the essence of the moment, with Jesus' sacrifice, with His love, with His justice. Michael, still on his knees, spread his wings gently, not to fight, but to comfort. He covered Mary, Jesus' mother, and the few faithful disciples standing at the foot of the cross. They couldn't see Him, but they felt peace. They felt strength. They were not alone. Then came the final words from the cross. "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." And finally, "It is finished." At that moment, Michael lifted his sword, not for war, but as a salute to the King of Kings. Uriel, filled with emotion, reached out and touched a drop of Jesus' blood. Instead of burning him, the blood became a flame that would never die, a living fire of remembrance forever kept in heaven. As Jesus died, the earth shook, rocks split, the sky went dark, And in the temple of Jerusalem, the great curtain separating man from God was torn in two from top to bottom. God had made a way. The sacrifice was complete. Michael flew to heaven, pleading before God the Father, not for angels, but for us, for humans. "Let the blood not be wasted," he cried. "Let every soul be reached and restored." And God answered. Uriel began a journey across the earth. In the invisible world, he moved like light, touching hearts, not marking them with symbols, but placing a spiritual imprint on those destined to believe. It was hope, it was calling, it was God's pursuit of every soul through his Spirit. Then came the third day. Jesus rose, the tomb was empty. Mary Magdalene, crying, came to visit the grave. She didn't recognize him until he said her name. Mary, she turned, and everything changed. She saw the risen Lord. Uriel and Michael stood nearby, unseen but watching. They knew this was the beginning of something eternal. After his resurrection, Jesus ascended to heaven. Angels filled the skies as the King of Glory returned to the Father. And yet, Michael and Uriel's mission wasn't over. Michael now watches over the church. He defends believers and strengthens those who suffer for their faith. Uriel inspires the truth, helping hearts understand the gospel, lighting minds with the knowledge of God. But one promise remains. One final day is coming. A trumpet will sound, the skies will open, and Jesus will return, not as a suffering lamb, but as the Lion of Judah, the King of Kings. Michael will lead the heavenly army. Uriel will raise the flame of truth, and all who believed in his name will rejoice. This is the victory of love. This is the power of the cross. And this is just the beginning. The angels witnessed it. The heavens recorded it. And now the story is yours to carry. The cross was not the end. It was the beginning of redemption, power, and eternal love. If this touched your heart, share it, because someone out there needs to know Jesus died for them too. And he's coming back. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring Bible stories. See you in the next video. Take care. God bless you all.